Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
The West. Home to the fast-paced fast food lifestyle of overly processed, capitalistic-based, long shelf life, highly preservative culinary delights. Our foods have been engineered for many years now with the primary intent to appeal to your evolutionary needs of attaining pre-industrialized sources of fat and sugar rather than focusing on optimal, healthy nutrients that people really need for longevity. 5 cultures separated by thousands of miles all have one thing in common: the most abundant per capita centenarians in the world, or people over 100 years old. These enclaves and their respective countries have become known as the Blue Zones. The designation of the term Blue Zones came from Dan Buettner and his colleagues who sought out these regions and circled them on their maps with blue ink. Hello. My name is Michael Lemon. Having been an exercise enthusiast and health-conscious individual, I regularly try to implement new eating habits that maximize nutrients and negate empty calories. In doing so, I bought the book, The Blue Zones Kitchen, a few years back to add some additional healthy eating habits to my life. Let's explore the 5 blue zones throughout the world and what not only gives some of the oldest populations their length of longevity, but what makes them some of the happiest centenarians with low levels of dementia found in the world. First, we'll visit Sardinia, Italy. Home to the longest living men in the world, it's a culture of isolated island communities who have maintained traditionally healthy lifestyles for many generations now. You can see from the pie chart, whole grains is a staple diet. Their dinners consist mainly of lentil soups such as minestrones. They make their own pizzas from vegetables grown in their gardens. And their whole grains consist primarily of barley. They do consume a lot of dairy in the form of goat's milk rather than cow's milk. As you can see, they aren't afraid to add a little sugar to their diets, which they enjoy from sweet pumpkin fritters and almond cookies. Many of the Sardinians are shepherds and walk more than 5 miles a day, which aids them in their cardiovascular health. Elderly grandparents are valued highly and respected as big roles in the Sardinian culture. Sardinians gather frequently in the streets just to talk and laugh with one another. From Sardinia, we move to Okinawa, Japan. A society of centenarians in Japan's southern region, once referred to as the land of the immortals. You can see their diets are heavy in tumors such as sweet potatoes, from which they make sweet potato bite fritters and sweet potato breads regularly. Their desserts include banana ice cream with roasted pineapples. They stay active gardening and attribute the fact that they sit on mats for dinner to helping maintain flexibility and good motor skills in their older years. Traditional social group called Moai in Okinawa help the Okinawans with emotional and financial support from their neighbors and friends. Moving from Japan to Costa Rica is a region called Nicoya, a Central American Caribbean nation long known for its excellent health care of the elderly. Nicoyans have a variety of foods they implement, mostly grains consisting of corn, but they also partake in beans and dairy as well. Nicoyans' local water supply has the highest calcium content in the world, and they attribute that to the low rates of hip fractures, which are mostly seen in elderly people around the world, and their stronger bones. Nicoyans have worked most of their lives outdoors and attribute a lot of their health to the vitamin D attained through their outdoor activities. Physical chores are still a part of their elderly lives. Moving on from Nicoya to Ikaria, Greece, which is a small island community originally forced inland by the constant wave of attacks against the Greece in ancient history. They're still thriving today as an isolated nation practicing historical practices. Their diets include a variety of mostly harvest seasonal garden vegetables found in the Mediterranean. Snacks in Greece include nuts and fruits. Dinners always contain greens and vegetables sauteed in olive oil. Desserts consist of some sweets such as honey cookies. Drinks are primarily natural teas made from rosemary and sage, which help in good heart health. They also consume goat's milk rather than cow's milk, like the Sardinians. Icarians also know the importance of a good midday nap, which helps lower their stress levels and hormones. Icarians make friends and family a priority, which is proven to foster in overall health and happiness. Moving on from Greece to the US is Loma Linda, California, the 5th blue zone. Just east of Los Angeles, California, it's a community formed in the 1840s called the Seventh-day Adventist Church, whose respect for community is still present in modern times. The Loma Lindians eat a wide variety of foods. You can see vegetables and fruits are a staple. And they snack on heart disease preventing nuts and granola regularly. They eat very light dinners and very heavy breakfasts in Loma Linda. Their dinners consist mostly of high plant foods and low meat diets. The vegetables they incorporate a lot of tomatoes, which have been linked to low prostate and low ovarian cancers found in Loma Linda. They're not afraid to partake in some ice cream topped with granola and chocolate mousse pies for desserts. Adventists get out together regularly for walks and moderate hikes, as they understand that even a small amount of daily exercise is needed to mitigate heart cancers and heart disease and cancers. The residents attribute their healthy life to practices of faith which center around community and lifestyles void of drinking and smoking. So as you can see, after reviewing the different eating habits, there isn't really one common food that all the 5 zones incorporate, rather the omission of certain nutrients such as fats and sugars. There's also a commonality of social actively lifestyles that are found in all of the blue zones. So you may be thinking, this is great, but I'll never live in any of these remote communities, which is most likely to be the truth. However, you can bring the culinary disciplines from each of these 5 locations into your own homes in the form of the book, The Blue Zone Kitchen. Available for purchase for $20 off Amazon, whose chapters each focus on some of the most popular dishes indexed by the regions from which they derive. As author Dan Brutenier says, there are 100 different recipes that can help you live to be 100 in the Blue Zone's kitchen. Thank you, and good luck with your healthy habits.